I'm from Battle Creek, Michigan, which is down towards Kalamazoo. My major is ESPM, so hopefully that goes good for me. Hoping to get into the golf industry when I get older, maybe run my own golf shop. I'm not sure yet. Still kind of figuring it out. Got a little bit of time to do that. It's something I'm thinking about doing, just at least being a part of like the PGA and the PGA program, because you don't necessarily have to be a professional golfer playing on tour to actually be considered a professional golfer anymore. So the local head pro at my golf course, I've kind of, grown up seeing him and kind of wanted to do that job. And so he's certified as a pro. So technically he's a pro, but he's not like the pros that you see on the TVs every weekend. So that's kind of something I'd like to do. Actually, before I thought about playing golf in college, I came up here on a school field trip, and I learned about Northwood, and I always liked business, and I always wanted to go into business. So I wanted to go here, and then I realized before my junior season started, I realized that I'd like to play golf here too, or at least try to play golf in college, and I sent stuff over here to the golf coach, and he got back with me pretty fast, and things just kind of worked out really well. But golf was always like the sport that I loved playing, so it was just kind of like soccer. I kind of just did it because I'd always done it, and I enjoyed playing it, but I also like enjoyed the kids around me, so that kind of kept me going. But then golf was always like my one true passion that I had, the one thing that I always wanted to do over anything else. So it just kind of it's more fun for me to go out and play golf than it is to train for soccer and get through that stuff. I'd much rather go out to the golf course and do that rather than soccer stuff like that. I mean, you talk to the kids in your group, usually most kids you play with, they're pretty talkative and you kind of get to know them and have fun with them. But I mean, for me, I always have like a song stuck in my head, it seems like. Throughout every round I play, there's always a song stuck up there, and it's always like in there over whatever I'm doing. So it just kind of keeps me focused, kind of keeps me not really overthinking everything. It just keeps me kind of relaxed, so it entertains me kind of like that. And then, just like seeing other players from my team on the course, just stuff like that. We kind of get to chit chat a little bit in between holes, and it kind of like keeps you entertained and keeps you going. So it is kind of boring though. Sometimes it does get boring. You just kind of want to be done with it, but you just got to keep going and keep freshmen that kind of crack the top 5 lineup that gets to play on the traveling team right now. So there are 5 freshmen counting me that play, but I was the only one that managed to get in the top 5, which is up here is pretty good. We got a really competitive, top 8. Any 5 of the 8 can play, and it's just really competitive. So I just got lucky during qualifying, played really well, and got a spot, and then kept playing well in tournaments to keep the spot for me. Basically, we play every school in the GLIAC at one time. So like at a golf tournament, you have every team competing at once. So basically, you're not just playing against one other team, you're playing against like 14, 15 other teams. Tournament we were at last weekend, there was 34 teams there. So, I mean, you're playing against everybody. But, I mean, definitely Saginaw Valley, that's someone that we always like to beat, and we would like to keep beating. Same with, we'd like to beat Grand Valley, Tiffin, schools like that. We'd like to, good schools that have good golf programs, we'd like to beat them.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Because with basketball, it's just, I don't know, I feel like it's totally different.
Yeah.
Is Saginaw Valley even good at golf, really?
Yeah. Actually, most of the GLIAC is actually we all have really good golf teams, so it's kind of a really competitive conference.
Right.
So it's kind of, in college golf, you never get the team that's like really bad. So every college team really, depending on the day, can go out and win a tournament. I mean, it just depends on who has a good day that day, and one day you can beat someone by 10 strokes, and then the next day lose someone by 5. I mean, it just kind of goes off of the day and who's. A big thing that we want to do is get to super regionals. That's a big thing that we want to do this year, and I want to also, as a team, get to nationals. That would be, in my 4 years here, I would like to get to nationals at least once. I think that would be a really good experience. I think it's definitely possible with the team that we have. As long as we just go out and play good golf, we can definitely.
Who do you admire the most?
Oh, that's a tough question. Well, it definitely starts with my grandma. She's been to every golf tournament, like, she misses like 1 or 2 a season for me. So, I mean, she's really kind of always there. No, I remember the one tournament, it was 50 degrees maybe with rain and wind the entire day. So, I mean, wind was probably blowing 30, 40 miles per hour the entire day. And Grandma's driving around in the cart just bundled up, and she's always out there. So, it definitely her and definitely my high school coach. He taught me a lot about the game, kind of more along the mental aspects of it, which have definitely helped me better my golf game for sure. And he's been kind of there for me almost as like for us in high school, our coach was almost like a father figure to us because we all kind of my whole high school team, we were pretty close to each other, so it was almost just like a second family to us because, we would miss probably 20 days of school at least in the springtime. So, we're constantly with each other. For golf, it's a little bit different. You're constantly with them and you can talk to them during practice. You know these people for hours a day, every day for 5 days a week at least. So, definitely my coach, he kept us all in line and got us, keeps us on a straight and narrow path. And he kind of showed me the way to better my golf game and to be a good person in life too.
That's what I love about
Ooh, it's a tough one. I'm not really sure. It's kind of, I want to say kind of like Bubba Watson, because he's always he gets into trouble and somehow he gets out of it. But I definitely don't do it as well as he does. But there's definitely some times where I get into spots where I just don't even know what happened and somehow I come out of it just fine. But definitely kind of, who's it? I almost want to say also like Jason Duffner. He's kind of got a really even keeled attitude about things, and you can't really tell where he's at on the golf course, like what he's shooting, because he's always just so calm and stuff like that. And I try to be calm and stuff and just keep myself cool and just kind of keep a good head on my shoulders throughout the round, so that I just can kind of let bad shots go and just go on to the next one and focus on that.
That's good. See, the only person that I know with golf is Tiger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The big name.
Yeah, the big names.
You know what I mean? Are in the newspapers and stuff like that. So that's good to hear, Cindy.